Good morning and welcome to Morning Moments. There's a group that I just met. We just started talking, and right away I could tell that this would be a great group to hang around and just have a lot of fun with. All the way from Alabama, ReSound Music and Southern Gospel. Welcome and welcome. Tell us, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Yes, we're glad to be on. Thank you so much for having us. We're excited. I was excited when I got that text message about you having us on. So I'll quickly introduce us. To my right is our lead singer. His name's Kody Madden. He is just turned 26 and recently got engaged last year. So he'll be getting married this year in November, and I know he's excited about that. Kody originally sang tenor for us, and he can sing all four of the parts. He's really helped us with all. He's originally a bass singer, and he's the one that's actually showed us and taught us how to do our parts. So he's been a key part in that, and just very talented. And he can do really mostly anything. And
well, it's nice to have somebody with a lot of range, isn't it?
Oh yes. To my left is our bass singer, and Dylan, and he is actually the youngest of the group. He is 19, just turned 19, and he's in his first year of college, and we got to call him the baby bass since he's the youngest. But Dylan, he started singing bass right when we started, and he didn't really know he could do it. It just kind of happened one day, and he's really improved so much. And he's really become one of the great young bass singers in the industry. I mean that too. Not just saying that. He's really, really improved, and he'd really surprised a lot of people at his age. And but his name's Dylan Hester. And then over here on the far left is our tenor singer, Adam Seahorn. He originally sang lead for us, and him and Kody made the switch about a year ago, and right before we recorded our first album. And Adam, he really discovered he could hit those high notes, and he's really
only by the grace of God.
He's gotten really good at it, and he's just improving each time. And but he's 28,
yeah,
and
old man.
He's the oldest of the group. So. And then I'm 19 as well. I sing baritone. My name's Colton Corum, and I'm in my second year of college, and I'll be 20 here in the upcoming months. So our age range is 19 to 28. So we're a young quartet, but we've just got started about we're celebrating 3 years, and I'll let Adam tell how we got started.
Oh yeah. So we got started a little over 3 years ago. Colton's great uncle had passed away. So his grandmother and aunt asked us if we would sing at his memorial service, and they wanted us to sing "Shouting Time" by the Hoppers. So we agreed to do it, and it was actually on my birthday. So that's an easy date for me to remember, because if I forget my birthday, I need help. So we all
have those moments.
Oh yeah. It was one more that was with us. He left after we sang that one time, but people in our church heard us, and they said our music minister, he wanted us to sing one at church. Well, when we actually sang one at church, they was like, maybe y'all need to add more music, add more songs. So we did, and we ended up going midsummer just across the state line over to Belmont, and going to a revival service, and we sang 2 songs. And Colton's little brother, who was probably 7 at the time, sang with us too. He was our original tenor, I guess you could say. So we called ourselves the 4.5 that day. But I was like, that's not really going to work. And, we kind of went nameless for about another month. And like Colton and Dylan and I were in my car. And I'm actually half deaf, so I wear hearing aids. And the hearing aid company is called ReSound. And I was like, I really like that. It rolls off the tongue. I said, what do you guys think? And they were like, yeah. And it's like, let's change the actual saying. So we did ReSound. Instead of ReSound, it's ReSound. And we, told Kody. Cody's like, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And we kind of went from there. We did another revival service with probably about 10 songs. And then we kind of took a little bit of a break. And over the winter break, we were at Gatlinburg, I do believe. And we were just sitting in a hotel room, and we were just like, praying. We actually just prayed together. And it's like, God, if it's your will for us to do this, then show us something. And less than a month later, we pretty much went on the road just about, felt like every weekend, going to different churches and singing, doing like different revivals. But yeah, that's how we really got our start.
And I hear that there's even another chapter in your life that's coming. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'll let Kody just tell just briefly about this.
So, with being engaged now, my fiance just got the opportunity at the clinic that she works at. She works with kids that have mental disabilities like autism or Down syndrome, and so this place that she's working at now in Tallahassee, Florida, they offered her a contract to work with them for a few more years and kind of get a little bit more experience in her field, because eventually she's either going to come back home and work at another clinic or maybe start her own clinic and do stuff like that. But around the time of our wedding, after our wedding, we'll be moving to Tallahassee, Florida, and living there for a few years or however long it may take. And so with that, I won't be able to fulfill my obligations with the group as I would hope to. So I told them, I talked to them and prayed about this. And I talked to my fiance and prayed about this. And so I told them that after May 2nd of this year, I'll be stepping down from the group, and they'll be bringing on a new lead singer to take my place after I step down.
Mm-hmm. And we actually have them with them, so I guess we'll let Kody and Hayden kind of tag out here.
Yeah.
And,
Tag out.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
this is
Well,
great
we'll
because this will be aired after the new group comes in.
Yeah.
And your name again is?
This is
Hayden Pendergass.
Okay, great. And it's good to be able to introduce you now with this group and with this change. And what made you want to join a group and sing gospel music?
Yeah, well, I felt a burden about half a year ago that I was really wanting to get into the music ministry, and I played guitar and sang at church and stuff solo. And, I had pressure from, other church members saying that they really, really wanted me to, get into this. And so I thought about it and I prayed about it. Well, Ollie, what month was it you texted me?
January.
Yeah, in January. And my grandparents had both gotten COVID, and my grandfather, he's 89 and he was back home on oxygen. So I stayed the night over there, and I was running on about 30 minutes of sleep that morning. And it had really been heavy on me. God was dealing with me, really wanting to get me to do this. And that's when I got a text from Kody asking me to go and try out, for the lead singing job. And so it felt like a weight lifted off of me, because it took the job away from me from having to go do it myself. And so he brought it to me. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy this a lot. I can already tell.
Yeah, and it's just amazing, the different chapters. I think of the different chapters of my life, how one thing leads to another, and certain contexts. I always tell people I'm really not that smart. I'm not smart enough to orchestrate all the things that happen in my life. God has to be the one to orchestrate everything. And it's just amazing, especially in my life, looking back of all the steps and things that happened, how important it was to me to be in God's will right there today, because that's preparing me for tomorrow. And you'll see that in the years to come too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Great.
that's what the thing that I thought about, with this. It's not a coincidence, it's not at all. God knew that it was on my heart, and he knew what was going to happen in the future. And he knew that I was going to be here right now doing this interview. So it really is a blessing.
Oh yeah.
I'm always real excited to see new talent and new people coming out, and seeing that ministry, songs or comedy or pastoring is the next generation's coming in. And when John Bowers was telling me about you, he says, you got to get these guys on your show. I says, okay, John. And it was really great contact. And I'm so glad that you guys took the time to come on today, this morning, and be part of Morning Moments. And what we're going to do is down below, we're going to put contacts for you, any websites that you have together, any videos that you want to share, and we'll also put the YouTube interview that we're going to be posting down below too, this very interview, so that you could use it for any purposes that you have as well. And more important than anything else, and this is what's going to make the difference in the power that God's using these young men, is that when you hear their name and you think about them and you see this interview, I want everybody to be praying for them and continue to lift them up in prayer. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time and make
thank
God
you.
richly bless you.
Can
One more
I add
thing.
one thing? I'll let Dylan say one thing real quick. I'll tell you where we just recently released our first album. It's got all original songs on it. Dylan's grandpa wrote one of them, and the rest have been written by just all kind of writers that's written all kind of songs for a bunch of great artists. But it's called, the title of the album is called That Step of Faith. And we just recorded it August of 20. That's when it was released. Like I said, it's got 9 original songs on it. And I'll let Dylan, you can tell them where they can find it. Any of the digital platforms, Apple, Spotify.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, we just we had a deal here recently, and it's 150 different platforms.
Yeah, 150 different platforms.
Yeah, so our music is on it's on Spotify and Apple Music and iTunes and Amazon, Pandora,
yeah.
TikTok.
yeah, even on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok too, so.
And our single for the album is releasing this Friday, April 16th. It'll be airing later, but that'll be on every gospel radio station, 400 something radio stations across the United States and even in Puerto Rico and Ireland. So
Wow.
It's called I've Got Something to Praise God For. So you call your local radio stations and request that song, and may it bless y'all's heart, because I know each of you are out there. Thank you for your prayers. And we'd love to come to a city or a church or an event near you and minister and we'd love to share the message of Jesus Christ and salvation to each person.
Thank you. Thank you. And all of my followers on our Morning Moments, share this on your Facebook page, pass on this interview, and let's get the word out about these great people. Thank you so much for joining me today, and God
Hey, thank
bless you.
you.
Thank you. See you.